I mean, truly, only world number one, Mango Casserole, can play this kind of unique chess. You're gonna see what I mean. His opponent was the blitz beast Hikaru Nakamura. Look at that rating, for goodness sake, over 3,400, opening with the king pawn. This is title Tuesday, played 2nd of December, and I'll reveal the winner of the entire event. End of the video. What a game this was. Aggressive Sicilian from Magnus. Now we see the knight developing here, and we get an open Sicilian game and the aggressive Najdorf variation on the board. So rich, so complex, and you can already play about 1,000,000 moves with white here. Hikaru streams out with the bishop, whispers whoosh, main move, followed by bishop e3, or king takes on a8, also top choices. Magnus goes for the shaven Indian pawn structure. If you struggle to say that word, just say shaving engine. Not everyone can do it like us chess content creators can. We've had a lot of practice. We now see this pawn develop, and Hikaru roars like a mighty chess lion. Main move for black, develop the bishop. But Magnus is absolutely unique. He can play the Sicilian and every variation. He can play the king pawn game, the Caro-Kann, the modern, the Alekhine or Aliekin, however you say it, the Pietz defense, everything, and even the poisoned pawn variation of the Najdorf. So risky, so theoretical, and he now munches on the forbidden fruit. Will Hikaru expose him and punish him, make him feel the wrath of the rook? Kicks back the queen first, bishop e2 played, apparently knight b to d7, gives black a smidge of an advantage, but Magnus spawns the seahorse. That's the thing about these kind of crazy variations. One little wrong step, bang, you're suddenly a little bit worse and you were a bit better. We see takes. The structure slightly compromised for black. Castle's played, bishop e7. What's the move here for white? Yes, it's e5. Might have given that one away. I do want to quickly show you this, because if you play the natural way, then you run into knight e4. And if you take here, there's all kinds of problem on the dark squares. This can recapture, and you're also taking squares from the queen. This rook is coming up and over, a wild rover, very dangerous attack. So e5 the shot. Not that you should then play all this stuff, but anyway, that was the move. Hikaru going f5 also looks aggressive, but now after pawn takes here, d5 is a powerful counter in the center. Missed. Magnus castling here. What's best for white? Takes, bishop takes, knight e4. It's actually very uncomfortable, because if the bishop comes to e5, you can push f6. Let's not go down the rabbit hole. It's long, it's deep. We see bishop e3 in the game. Hikaru whispers, stack my bishop. Just one of the absolutely incredible designs that are now live in the merch shop. The link's in the description. I mean, I truly love the designs, right? Let me show you another one. Wait there. d5's played by Magnus. Excellent. And Hikaru whispers, do you even rook lift, bro? This one we went back and forth on for absolutely ages. Love what we ended up with here. Cannot wait to actually get some of this delivered. Wear it on camera right. If you want one, check out the shop. Really helps me out on the channel, of course. And then possibly, maybe one day, I can actually go full time on this thing. Bring you more clips of Magnus riding a hobby horse. Get super epic on the memes if I have that more time. So every penny you spend there is supporting the channel directly, plus a little something for yourself or a loved one. So have a look at that. Do check it out. Thank you very much. Queen a5 is played here, and now we see king h1. Prophylactic chess, stepping off the long diagonal. Bishop b4, not precise, but you should respond with the wooden shield. Hikaru does not do it. Loves a wooden shield, but here he plays pawn a3, and it's just a big misjudgment, because he's allowing Magnus to take. Yes, he now has the bishops, fine, but Magnus can enter an endgame with no queens. Few of his fans start bleating, and land this monster knight in a minute. First he hits the bishops. Now Hikaru plays this very stinky move. Bishop d1. Something he didn't like about bishop d3. Okay, the pawn drops. That's the big issue. So he goes back here. But now bishop d7 connects the split rooks. Rook g1, sorry, bishop g1, stepping off the attack. But you're kind of heading in the wrong direction. Dad's ashamed. What are you doing back here? And the monster stallion centralizes itself. Rook e3, d4 is very powerful. But Magnus jumps and he hits a rook, which defends a pawn and opens up the pressure here. It's really hard to deal with it all. You know, you could try this, but long term, you're just getting squeezed on all parts of the board. Rook invading. It's very uncomfortable. Black, big time ahead. A pawn ahead, plus the pressure. So Hikaru goes for the double up. Wants some pressure and play. Despite shedding a pawn, he's 2 pawns down now against the endgame goat. Gets the invasion, he's got the bishops, and he's holding on for something else. You're going to see. Rook c7. Not so fast, Sonny Jim, whispers Magnus. The rooks leave the board here. Bishop c5 defends the a-pawn, activates. Now bishop f5 hits the c2 pawn, and surely you run in the king. Leave this guy defending. This is the problem. Knight b2. So you can't actually stay with the defense of the pawn. Now you are hitting this, so you could advance it first. Okay, let's not keep going. You get the point. Kind of hard to hold on to it. Then black has 2 running pawns. This one was played therefore, and what Hikaru's seen is this. Give up the bishop pair. Go for an opposite coloured bishop endgame. This is his big plan. Let's use that to hold the draw despite being... How many pawns is he down? 3 pawns down. This is ridiculous. But okay, it's his hope. Help me, Hikaru One Kenobi. You're my only hope. That didn't make any sense. But what I want to show you here is an incredible breakthrough. If you were playing black, Magnus, let me flip the board. Control X, if you didn't know that keyboard shortcut on chess.com to flip the board. If you're playing black, how do you arrange a breakthrough here? Very well done. If the idea of pawn f4 occurred to you, now takes was played, and then you slide on by. This is the key point. You want to create a running past pawn here. Let's flip back. We see in the game bishop e1 to stop pawn h4. So Magnus brings in the king, bishop g3, and it looks like you got all bases covered. How are you making progress? c5, bishop e1, just wait on it. You can't go king g5 and arrange the push. The pawn covers. What are you doing here? Push, takes. Ah, hang on. There's mileage in that idea. Pawn c3. And the bishop is distracted from the defense of the h4 square. Magnus now glides it through. It's beautiful. And here's the icing on the cake. If you'd have played bishop e1, Hikaru didn't do it. We're in the back cave. Can you see the finish for black? It's pawn g3. Because after takes, do you take? No siree. Pawn h3. And the queen is unstoppable. You know, you just can't get around. It's going through. It's going through. You're a wizard, Harry. So we come back here. King f2 was tried, but Magnus just munches here. 2 pawns to the good once more. Check. And now if you go bishop c3, I'm going to show you a sample line. Hikaru mouse slips and loses the game. But if you do this, then, I say mouse slips, sorry, pre-moves. Here's a sample of how you can actually win. You basically just tie down the king, then you force the bishop to give itself up, make the queen, and obviously you can do something along these lines. Lovely little stalemate to finish the game. Most likely outcome if Magnus had had to finish off. He does struggle with his queen, bishop, king against 2 pawns, or with 2 pawns checkmates. Let's run back. this was the final position. Magnus wins the game and he wins Title Tuesday. Another dominant performance. They're all in South Africa now for some freestyle chess. Maybe I'll touch on a bit of that, although I don't love the format, I'll be honest. Hope you enjoyed. Check out a bit of merch down below if you love the designs, and have a look at the video on screen for some more epic chess. Cheers.